Hey, you guys. Happy Sunday and happy Memorial Day weekend. It's a great day at church today. And those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Robin Whitfield. And I don't have to do too much introducing because it's right there on the platform. And so, check out The Loop on Robin Whitfield's TV. It's on YouTube, and YouTube is one of the hottest platforms on the planet. It's a lot of smooth vibes over there. I share a lot of content, and I like some of you guys that I'm following, and some of the friends that's on the page. I like your content too. I came on because I really enjoyed church today. And so the message was wonderful. Pastor Jared Howard, he had a wonderful message. And Reverend John Howard, he sang and had the choir singing their hearts out. And it was wonderful. And so a lot of other good things, just being in the congregation, and the vibes were very smooth, and I love that. I love church vibes on Sunday. I'm really enjoying starting back going. I'm glad I went because, the devils try to get you to make excuses. Oh, I'm tired, or I try to catch a Bible class this week, like tomorrow. Well, I'm glad I went and pushed myself, because I push myself every day to go to church, to work, so I had to push myself to go to church. And it's very important to gather yourself to go. Also, sometimes, today when I went, I heard that the Bible class tomorrow is Memorial Day, and I didn't think of that. And so, they have Bible class on Wednesday this coming week, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays I work. So I would have missed church today if I didn't push this week, if I didn't push myself to go today. But I was sure happy that I went, But I came on about one of the other young ladies, and you'll see her pinned to the top of my page. And I believe she was from Atlantic County department, where and she was talking about voting, and she was at church today, so they allowed her time to speak. And I thought it was really dynamic what she was and how she was encouraging people at church to speak. I didn't hear that in a long time, or maybe when I did hear it back in the day, I didn't pay attention to it. I'm telling you. So that really inspired me, So I finally wanted to ask myself, well, what are we voting about this time? What are we really voting about? Because it seems to be we don't never stop voting around the world. We never stop voting, and there's a lot going on that we're focusing on Donald Trump not taking our voting rights, that you forget what you actually voting for. And so, and how important it is. Well, this week I have them in there on my desk. I got 2 ballots in the mail, one for Rufus and one for myself. And I really thought it was about, the Board of Education, the Department of Education, and all the everything that has to do with education on the board, that they were doing some voting. And I said, well, I really want to pay attention to this, because this is the first time I'm really focusing on it. But then when I got to church, she was talking about it. I asked myself that same question that I just said. What are we really voting about? So here you'll see a bunch of papers. That's how I do research. And I was telling you guys I had to research on a lot of things, even when it comes to work. So I did this research here, and my own unique way of researching. And I asked myself that question: what are we voting about? And it says New Jersey 2026, and this is how important it is. You know, we would miss this if you don't find out what are you voting about and why you should vote and why important it is to vote. And so early voting starts on May the 26th, which is Tuesday, and up until May the 31st. And then election day is June the 2nd. And that's what throws me off, because I'm so used to voting being in November, and that's the main voting. But this right here always throw me off and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about that. That's what I came on for, because I know there's hundreds and hundreds of people feel like I do. And so we need to know why it's important to show up and put this vote in right here, because we have to get this business changed with Donald Trump. What we do, we got to do something. Somebody need to stand up, and somebody need to vote. I know we're out there working and stuff, but we have all these politicians, and we still have to know how to support them in other ways. Even if we don't have the finances, we still need to know. So here in your just local community in New Jersey, what can we do with this election? So New Jersey 2026 primary election quick guide. Right now in New Jersey, the main election activity is the 2026 primary election scheduled for Tuesday, June the 2nd. So that June the 2nd is the primary election is taking place. And so this is where political parties choose their candidates for November general election. So June the 2nd is the primary election, and then November is the general election. What people are voting for? What are we voting for? Number one, the U.S. Senate primaries. 2, U.S. House of Representative primaries. This is how we have to do this. More than voting for the president, we got to get this done, because nobody is doing nothing. Okay, and all these people sitting in primaries and senates and stuff, and they just letting Donald Trump get away with things. We got to move them out of office, period. So it says U.S. Senate primaries, U.S. House of Representative primaries, county offices such as sheriff, clerk, surrogate, and commissioners in your community. They ain't doing their job. Right here in the community, the sheriffs and the clerks and all them that's sitting in them seats voting, vote them out. That's it. Period. The municipal and local races, depending on your town and county, this is what we're voting for. Pay attention to the ballots. Special elections in certain districts and cities. So these people that's sitting in these seats, letting Donald Trump get away with these things, we got to vote them out. That's how we have to do it. You can't let them sneak in and let this stuff continue to go on. Take a look at your ballots and find out. Now, I'm going to tell you something at the end that's very important. So important dates, I told you, May the 22nd, May the 26th is early voting, which starts this Tuesday up until May the 31st. Election day is June the 2nd. Voting systems. New Jersey uses a semi-closed primary system. Registered Democrats vote in the Democrat primary, and Republicans vote in the Republican primary. And unaffiliated voters can choose a party when they go to vote. So if you don't know which party you are, you're unaffiliated voter, then you could choose it when you go to vote. Okay? Additional help is available. Number one, find your exact candidates. 2, locate your polling place. 3, see major races in your county. 4, get simple, nonpartisan candidates breakdown, like I'm trying to do, to find out how I can help get this change. Just one vote can help. Just one vote. Tell your sister, tell your cousins, tell everybody they got to get out and vote in this primary to make a change. Okay, New Jersey political landscapes, simple guide. Here it is in plain English, the overview of what each side generally focus on in New Jersey. Democrats, the cost of living, we're going to go over the issues. Cost of living, the Democrats focus on government primary and tax relief, and the Republican focus on lower taxes and reduced spending. Property taxes, the Democrats focus on relief programs and anchor and stay New Jersey, and the Republicans focus on cutting spending and reform government. Healthcare, Democrats focus on expand access, protect Medicaid, and the Republicans focus on private market focus, control spending. Housing, Democrat focus on affordable housing and renter protections, and Republicans focus on less regulations, promote development. Immigration, support protections and assistance. That's what the Democrats focus on, and the Republicans focus on stronger environment and limit benefits. Public safety, the Democrats focus on policing and social programs, and the Republicans focus on strong law enforcement focus. Energy, the Democrats focus on clean energy and offshore wind, when the Republicans focus on concern about costs, skeptical of mandates. Education, the Democrats focus on increased funding and aid, while Republicans focus on accountability and spending oversight. Government rules, the Republicans focus on in government rules, active rule-solving issues, and the Democrats focus on active rule-solving issues, while the Republicans focus on smaller, less involved government. And so you look up those things, the overview of each side, what each side generally focus on. I'm looking at them. I like everything from cost of living down to government rules. I guess I am Democrat, and those are the things I've been hearing from over and over again. And then in the Republican, I never focused on that because I was Democrat. There's some things I really need to understand, because there's some things that I am interested in, even on the Republican side. I'm telling you. But some of these people that's on the Democrat side that I agree with all this, that's sitting in these seats in this community, need to give it up and give somebody else the seat, because you ain't doing nothing about relief programs and anchoring, and you stopping affordable housing. How are you doing it? With your attitude and being selective with certain people to help them with these things. And you're hiring these people and putting them on the front line just for keeping money. And you're supposed to be a Democrat helping people. How can people give you money to help small businesses, and you take it in your pocket and create the business in your own buildings? That go from the city hall down to the police station. If the government is giving you small block grants, if they're giving you stuff to help the community and small businesses, why are you taking that money inside the business, inside your city hall and down at the police station everywhere, and taking it and making your own businesses inside and not helping the people on the outside? Can you tell me that? Because they didn't give it to you for that. They gave it to you for small businesses, not for you to go create one down there and say, hey, we're having an event outside. We're going to be walking the water on Atlantic coast. We're going to be doing a crime scene. Well, there's businesses out here that need help with the money. And so you're making it hard for them. It's who you know down there. That's how you can get grants and stuff like that. They're not putting that money out on the streets. They take it in there. That's why the city can't even operate and run their own money. They got to depend on the CRDA helping them with things. Why can't our city, not the CRDA, but the state of New Jersey taking control of Atlantic City? Because they don't know how to operate and budget things and invest in things. They go in there and make their own businesses, make their own events out, and instead of allowing for-profits and non-profits, and stop putting these people in offices blocking things. Period. It's wrong. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we had to change. Get those people out of office. Now, the next thing is common concerns in New Jersey. And we got to stop hollering about what the Republicans do and do what we're supposed to do so it can change. Common concerns in New Jersey. The state is expensive. Property taxes are are a major problem. Housing affordability is getting worse. Utility bills are hurting people. Seniors are struggling to stay in New Jersey. And then we over here hollering at these people, and they didn't gave you money, and this stuff is still happening. Why? Why is it happening in my community? Because I live in Atlantic City, and it's been going on for the whole time. I've been here since in the 80s. Yes, I remember that post office around the corner. Rufus used to run in there all the time when we met over 30-something years ago. He used to run into that other old post office. I remember him going to get stamps and stuff, not on Atlantic Avenue. And we used to go off on Pacific Avenue. So I don't think I haven't been here in a long time. You know, so this stuff had to change in our community. General learning. Democrats tend to prioritize social programs, public investment, labor unions, healthcare access, climate environment policies, stronger, safe environment. These are a Democrat tends to prioritize on these things, social programs and public investments, labor unions, healthcare access, climate environment policy, stronger state involvement. That's what we tend to prioritize. When Republicans tend to prioritize tax reduction, smaller government, and law enforcement, business growth, energy cost concerns, and stricter immigration policies. Now, one thing I have to say about Republicans here about tax reductions, I don't agree with that, because if you focused on, if you prioritize all that, then why is the taxes up? Because we don't got the money, the Democrats. Why is the taxes up? That's lying already. Taxes, food is high, all that kind of stuff, and so you're not prioritizing tax reduction. All these tariffs and stuff going on, and y'all signing it and agreeing with it. Somebody has to stand up. Somebody has the voice that is in that's politicians, and so we have certain people running this year, and we need to focus on those ones that's running for government. And I'm trying to see if I had that list who's actually running in for government, who's running for these different offices, because I had wrote them down. I thought that it was on my paperwork here that I wrote. Let me see, people. Okay, so no, but I'm about to pull it up because it's very important that we know, and I'm going to end with this because it's very important that we know who's actually running. Who's actually running for this year that you need to want to go and vote for. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do that here. Let's see. Okay. Smaller investments. Okay. We did that here. Okay. For New Jersey. Yep, I just had that. Okay, here it is. Here it is right here. So I asked, I wanted a simple breakdown of what each candidate stand for without political spin. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back a little more up here. Okay. Okay. One of the biggest South Jersey races is the congressional primary connected to the district currently represented by Jeff Van Drew. Atlantic City and much of the Atlantic County fall inside that district. Okay, some Democratic candidates reported in that race include Tim Alexander, Zach Muloff, Terry Reese, Bailey Winder. Okay, so that's some of the Democrat candidates reported in the race for South Jersey. Okay, and so the Republican side is centered around incumbent Jeff Van Drew. There are more useful official election resources for Atlantic County. So it looks like these guys that are Republican, Tim Alexander, Zach Muloff, and Terry Reese, and Bailey Winder, who are Democrat candidates reported in the race. The only one I see reported in the Republican race is Jeff Van Drew. Okay? And so, but the most useful official election resource in Atlantic County is AtlanticCountyClerk.org or NewJersey.gov or Ballotpedia.org. So you could get this stuff from here. Okay, and so let's see something else. Here is a simple nonpartisan overview of the biggest races New Jersey voters are looking at right now. The biggest races, especially relevant for South Jersey and Atlantic County voters. And when I finish with this video, you share it because I gave you a lot of information, but you still need to do it yourself. So Cory Booker. Everybody knows Cory Booker. He's wonderful. He's on my page. I follow him. For United States Senate, the Democratic side is straightforward this year. Cory Booker, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. Anything about Cory Booker, vote for him. He stays on it. Vote for Cory Booker for New Jersey. Booker is the incumbent Democrat. His campaign focused heavily on national Democratic parties, voting rights, health care access, criminal justice reform, and economic inequality. That's what he focused on, national democratic parties and voting rights and health care access. You need these guys to fight for you. You can't just keep getting up, going to work every day like I do, and go to work and not be concerned and not care. So you got to fit it into your lifestyle for your children and your grandchildren. This stuff you need. Political parties while you doing it. Even though you're not in it, they still in it. That's their entrance. That's what they go to school for. And so you need to be able to vote for the right people to help you through your life skills. So you won't have to go through high gas to get to work and all that kind of stuff. That's why we have to tell our children and our grandchildren and great-grands and all that, they need to vote, and so we can make a change. The Republican primary for Senate has several candidates with somewhat different styles. Okay? So you heard on the Senate for the Democrat was Cory Booker, but the Republicans have Alex Zan, Richard Tabor, Justin Murphy, Robert Leibowitz. All these people here on the Senate is on the Republican side, and old Cory is sitting by himself. You got to vote for him. You do, because he's standing up. He cannot stand alone. It's like, hey, I'm being treated bad on my job, but maybe we need to go on strike. Well, you can say that all you want, but you can't be out there striking yourself. You need a team. You need a team to do that. So, because if not, you'll be standing alone. So we don't want Cory to stand alone. Vote for Cory. He's Democrat. He's here to make a change for you, especially if you are a Democrat. You know, here with Alex Zan, former television journalist, emphasizes on conservative fiscal policy, public safety, lower taxes, and criticism of federal Democrat leadership. Criticisms of federal Democrat leadership. So he criticizes that. He doesn't like federal Democrat leadership. Okay? Richard Tabor, former state trooper. He's a state trooper. He focuses on law enforcement support. He's a Republican. He focuses on border security, veterans, and traditional conservative issues. You know, these guys are not rich. They think in their head they're rich, like they got a bunch of money and they can't go with you. And that's crap what they're focusing on, because I'm telling you, it ain't making no change. It's just that how people are brought up and in their life, and they're segregated, and they don't want to change their attitudes. They'd rather die that way. I don't care what position you in. You could be the doctor of the universe. You know, I don't care about all that. You know, if you raise that way, you can make a change. You can make a change in your heart, because you got children that have to live here. You know, but some people just don't care. They don't care about no children or nothing. They going on about the business, and still going and die that way with a bad attitude, and don't care if they're prejudiced against other races and people. Justin Murphy campaign things include smaller government, anti-establishment, politics, and reducing federal spending. Robert Leibowitz, the same, healthcare, government efficiency, and business-oriented policies. And for the area of South Jersey District, Jeff Van Drew, please don't vote for him in South Jersey. I'm telling you. Republican incumbent known for moderate to conservative positions, support for law enforcement, offshore wind skepticism, South Jersey economic issues, and strong focus on local constitute services. Oh, boy. Democrat challengers include Zach Moloff, Tim Alexander, Bailey, Wendy, and Terry Reeves. I went over that with you with these guys. So in our community, and I'm about to leave, in the Atlantic County community, there's more Democrats with focusing. So you got to look at who you want to vote on this ballot starting Tuesday. Out of the Democrats in Atlantic County, compare them like I did, and which one you're going to choose to vote. Now, don't just say, "Oh, well, I'm voting for a Democrat." Compare them, see which ones you like here, that you want to vote for to make change, because they're only running against Jeff Van Drew. He's the only Republican in this district that these guys is running against. One. So we got to pick one. If you're Republican, I guess that's who you're going for, Jeff Van Drew. But if you're not, if you're Democrat, you got 4 people between them that you're going to be voting for, besides all the other local education department, board of education and all. Let's focus on all of that. Even the education, you got to focus on all that. Okay? And you got until May the 26th all the way to the 31st. And I'm going to show you how you can do a quick search. So, but in the Senate, the Democrat side is only 1. See, in our community, Atlantic County government area, communities around, is 4 Democrats and 1 Republican. But in the Senate part of the federal part, there's only 1 Democrat in the Senate, and that's Cory Booker. And he's going against 4 as well in the Senate area. Now, and that is Justin Murphy, Robert Leibovitz, Richard Tabor, and Alex Zedan. And that's in the Senate area. So I guess those that are Democrat will check off that on the ballot. Cory Booker. Don't forget that. Okay? And so, how could you do this that quick and get all this information done? Because I'm busy, I can't. Where I'm going to go at to do this? Well, I'm going to tell you guys, we live in a world that's changing, and the world is not going to stop for us because, what's his name? Oh man, I forgot the guy's name that made ChatGPT. And there's other apps too. You download it on your phone. You start off with a free one. If you don't want the free one and you're using it constantly, then get you a little a monthly cost of it. I went to Penn Medicine, and my doctors pulled it out, and he said, "Listen, we're recording this live," and I said, "What did you say?" I think I told that, and he pulled out and got through, and so they assisted. There's a lot of people in medical get assistance from ChatGPT. They're not taking it away because, they got the money. It's going to be in the world. You still believe in Jesus, but you need some technology to get your information because Google just goes but so far, and so do dictionaries. Nowadays, they're changing a lot. So you definitely need to use the system just like you learn how to use a computer. You put it in ChatGPT, ask the question, tell them to write you a PDF, and print it. And you're going to come up with papers. And you'll come up with up-to-date papers. That's how you do it. And it's the quickest thing the quickest thing and hottest thing going. Shout out to ChatGPT and all that. And I sure got it done. And now I know which way I can go, and I can keep moving and doing my studies like I have to do. Anybody don't like it, well, just don't use it. That's all I can tell you. Okay, then. So y'all have a good day, and I hope that'll help you, and share it to your neighbors. Don't forget to vote. Thank you for letting me use this time.